So I've shared a ton of case studies in the past couple days, just going over our previous BFCM. Now, portfolio wide, we hit a record month in general, and then also leading up to it, we dealt with a lot of issues: ad account restrictions, ad account bans, payment processor issues, manufacturer issues, so on and so forth. So, a lot of variables that could have made this not successful, and still we managed to pull through. Now, my goal is just to kind of share a breakdown of our success so that you can integrate it with your business, with your brand as you go into 2025. So, without further ado, let's kind of dive into specifics. So, there we go. As you can see, I am on X. My handle's at the Chris HRDZ. So, I post weekly breakdowns of what we're seeing inside our portfolio in regards to ad account structure, campaign type, what it takes to really scale to multiple 8-9 figures in e-commerce, because we're currently doing it. So let's dive into this breakdown specifically, where we generate north of 460K, 35% net profit, and then from there, just the full ad account structure. So at a high level overview, I mean, we dealt with ad account restrictions, and this is where it's beneficial for your business when you're diversified across these platforms. When you're just relying on Meta can shut down your ad account whenever. They don't need a specific reason why. It's just AI algorithm. If it marks your ad account as a red flag, it disables your spend. Now you have to wait a couple weeks to hear back from a Meta rep or to hear back from Meta on why your ad account got flagged. You could send an appeal, but it takes too much time. And 9 times out of 10, you might not even get your ad account back. So now you have to pivot, launch a new ad account, so on and so forth, deal with the issues that are compliant with Meta. And then as a byproduct, if that's just your one single access channel, well, then you're screwed. So this is why it's beneficial to diversify on Google when you're at more than 10K a month in ad spend. Once you're spending, I would say north of 30, 40, 50K a month in ad spend, yes, diversify on Google. When you have integration across both platforms, Meta does a great job. If you're going on broad at a certain spend threshold, it's attracting net new transactions. And then when you couple that with Google does a great job of hitting middle funnel, bottom of the funnel, because you might have a user who doesn't purchase from the initial advert, but they go across, they search your brand up on Google, and you have a search campaign there. You're ranked higher. They make the first purchase from your business, right? So Meta helps aid with that transaction by purchasing on Google. So this is how we're diversifying our ad portfolio. We're on Meta, we're on Google. Some instances we might diversify into a TikTok, or we might go into YouTube. When you're running ads on Google and you're posting content on YouTube, YouTube's a bit tougher to crack. Versus TikTok, I mean, all it is you're just utilizing Meta style creatives on TikTok, and then you're creating UGC style videos, but limitations on both platforms are dependent on, I mean, with TikTok, it's more of a creative dependent, and then for YouTube, it's more of how much are you spending on Google, and then there's other scenarios as far as like YouTube organic that's going to affect your YouTube style of ad, right? Because it's more of a video style ad that's long form, and it requires a different step as far as e-commerce, right? And the post-click experience, you have to be dialed in for that. But realistically, Meta and Google is easy to start off with. And in this scenario, with our portfolio, I mean, pretty much we had every brand and every product produce winning creatives ahead of schedule, right? So we had winning SKUs and scaling campaigns prior to Q4, right? We're doing that heavily in Q3. We're heavily creative testing. And then as Q4 rose, our ad spend increased. And if we had, we mainly focused on raising the average order value of our SKUs on the front end, right? Because you could do a typical up to 30% off. I mean, we did that. But leading up to that, we wanted to make our discounts surrounded around raising the total average order value of all of our products within the market. Now, this could be an entry-level offer. And if you're first time testing this high AOV bundle offering, you have no idea of what your LTV is. Because quite frankly, if you're selling more than 2 SKUs, that customer that just bought that AOV bundle, they quite frankly might not need to buy back from your business within 3 to 6 months. So then when we're testing high AOV bundles, our goal is, yes, we want to acquire first order profit, and then we want to gather data to see, okay, what is the LTV frequency on this purchase? Because if you're in a different sector of business where your average order value is $70, $100, because the quantity or the quality of the SKU is just a higher value, well, then you don't really have to focus on crazy bundles, right? You can get away with pushing a 2 SKU bundle at $130 price point or $150 price point versus entry level products that start off at $20 MSRP. Well, then you have to create 3, 4 product, 5 product SKU bundles, which the intensity of that SKU count might affect LTV. So then if we don't want to be too reliant on just one single offer type, right? We want to gather as much data per offer as possible, because we might need to create an adjacent offer that's middle funnel, bottom of the funnel focus, that's entry level, that's not so expensive, right? And the goal behind like lower ticket SKUs is that since they're only buying one SKU or 1.5 because you have a different element as a downsell, the frequency is gonna be higher because they've only purchased 1 to 2 SKUs, right? And if you have a downsell that's like doesn't really hurt costs, well then you might count that as 1.5, right? So that's kind of the elements, and the retention side of it is, yes, it's great. We can attract as many customers as possible, right? That's going to fuel the full funnel, but we should never neglect retention marketing, right? We want to extract for all the transactions that we just garnered for Q4, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We want to make sure that we're getting consistent LTV from them. We're getting consistent frequency of purchases on second, third, fourth order on the back end, right? So we want to make sure we have a retention focused downsell offer in place that just logically makes sense, right? Because if I have a consumer that purchased a product that was designed for the weather, and then as I go into warmer seasons, as we progress into 2025, well, then what I'm doing is I'm having downsell offers that fit that customer journey. Versus, I see brands that don't push any offers that are aligned with what the consumer just purchased this Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So we want to make sure we have congruency across the board, right? We have congruent offers that we're testing on the front end. We want to make sure unit economics make sense. We want to make sure the funnel, all the ad copy, all the angles are aligned with the offer we're purchasing. And then if we need to create bundles, we create bundles that make sense. And we have a holistic, organic approach to the consumer behavior, right? Because if we're selling a SKU that is made for the winter elements, we have downsell offers that fit that post-purchase going into the new year. If we're selling like luxury item goods or athleisure products or even one-off elements like a bath bomb or something like that, right? In that unique, in that beauty space, we have offers and we have alignment of collection SKUs we're pushing, right? If somebody purchases a product that's a mascara, well, then we want to make sure that their adjacent product they might purchase makes sense. It's congruent, right? We don't want to push mascara and then we're pushing on the back end sunscreen, right? We want to see complete alignment of product SKUs and the customer journey. So all in all, success really stems from, okay, the initial planning of what offers are we pushing, what is the AOV tied to these offers, and then ultimately looking back at that data 90 days out and saying, okay, what is the LTV? 90 to 6 months out, 90 days to 6 months out. What is the LTV on this product? What's the LTV on these offers? And then from there, replanning again and saying, okay, if our LTV suffered, well, then maybe we need to push lower MSRP SKUs to boost the frequency of the LTV. And then when it comes to budgets, I mean, your campaigns are aligned with the amount of SKUs you're pushing, right? Depending on the amount of available SKUs, that's going to determine the output of campaigns. Like in this scenario, we had a lot of campaigns, we had a lot of SKUs. So we're pushing various offers, which allowed us to go crazy and test cost caps, to test Advantage Plus, to test ABO campaigns. And then from a Google standpoint, utilizing PMAX, utilizing search, utilizing shopping, standard shopping, utilizing these other variants that aid the funnel. So it's congruency across the board. Now, the offer for Black Friday was simple. We did it up to 30% off. And we had higher AOV products focused for this time of year so that we had balanced variable costs. So the goal with this Black Friday was we didn't want to spend crazy amount of ad dollars, but we had ad account restrictions. So we were capped to what we spent. I think in total we spent north of 50K plus in ad spend across Meta and Google. Now the game plan this holiday season for the next 14 days is, can we keep attracting net new transactions, but can we keep raising LTV? And then that's the balance of campaigns, hosting, winning post IDs via Advantage Plus. We had our evergreen US-based creatives. We had single campaign split across individual collection SKUs. And then we had cost cap campaigns for our higher AOV SKUs. So that's kind of the game plan. I mean, if I were to summarize this, to make it in layman's terms, you want to diversify your ad spend. You want to push higher AOV offers. You want to understand the LTV tied to these offers. And then as a byproduct, if there is a lack of profit, you need to reevaluate your business to see, okay, where is that coming from? Is it variable cost? Is it outsourcing cost to other vendors? Is it the front-end offers that we're pushing that's causing us to be unprofitable? You want to analyze your business to see, okay, where's the drop-off? Because e-commerce, quite frankly, is a cash-intensive business. The moment you suffer with cash flow in e-commerce, your business could be on the brink of bankruptcy. So you want to plan ahead with ad account restrictions, right? This is why we're not just relying on Meta. We're on Meta, Google, maybe TikTok, maybe YouTube, so on and so forth. And then as we transition into 2025, the goal is you've attracted a lot of net new transactions if you planned out Black Friday properly. So the goal should be you didn't acquire bottom of the barrel customers. You attracted higher valued customers with your offering structure, with your bundles, with your products that you're pushing. Now the goal for 2025 is, can we extend the LTV on that? Can we get consumers to buy back from our business going into January, going into February, going into March? Because quite frankly, if you did Black Friday right, you're going to see at least a decent amount of LTV from the transactions you just acquired. Once you get second, third order purchases, I would consider them customers. And if you see an issue with LTV, well, then it's probably because you were too aggressive with your offer structure for Black Friday, or there was a lack of congruency from offer to value proposition. So that's kind of allowing us to scale to multiple 7-8 figures. If you're looking to integrate this for your business, you can check out my protocol, scalevelocity.io. It's pretty simple. The structure behind it is I partner up with a portfolio of eCom brands. I help them scale. I help them build in-house for exits. And then while doing that, I am forecasting. I am applying contribution margin to their businesses. And ultimately, we're at a point where, depending on the brand's North Star, if they want to exit in the next 2 to 3 years, we're planning for that exit. If a brand is looking to never exit, we're still building with the same foundations as if we were going to exit, right? So this is maximizing profit, keeping operations lean, and maximizing our, to the extent of offers, collection drops, so on and so forth. So if you want to work with me, you want to skip the phase of getting burned by ad agencies. If you want a proper CMO into your business, you can check out scalevelocity.io. You can book in a call with me. And I'll continue breaking down what we're doing inside ad accounts. And quite frankly, what we're doing outside of ad accounts that's going to help us scale ad spend. So if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'll see you in the next video.